Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is mid-month for the month of February Tarot Oracle reading. And Leo, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Leo, we still all have a little bit of Leo in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Leo in? That's where this energy will show up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. Please be aware that this is a general or collective reading, meaning that parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Just take what works for you and leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, meaning if you are watching it at this time, it is exactly the right time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. So the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords. So the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, has come in, or is coming in. It's on its way. So if there's some situation that you're in where you are looking for truth and you're wondering what really happened, this is the reading for you for sure, Leo. And then we have a tower. Okay, so there was a tower. Towers are reality checks. Usually they're very uncomfortable and they happen at the weirdest times, all of a sudden out of the blue. And so this energy is, there's some sort of reality check, a tower that's happened. This energy, like it speaks for itself. There's a lightning bolt hits the tower. It's on fire. The people are falling out. One of them actually looks surprised and the other one is like, oh, I kind of thought this might be happening. And the energy we're talking about here is when, the intuition probably, it has been whispering to you, and then the whispering got louder, but you weren't listening. You weren't paying attention to your intuition. So what that's saying is, first the universe will whisper to you and say, hey, you maybe want to take a look at this. Then the universe will be like, get a frying pan out and whack you over the head, and you'll be like, oh, that hurt. Ouch, why'd you do that kind of energy? And it was like, why did that happen? That kind of energy. But saying, oh, I'll deal with it later. I don't have time for this right now kind of energy. That's when the 2x4 treatment comes out, bang. And how often does lightning strike your home? Very rarely. It's highly unlikely. But when it does, it means that there's some reality that you really need to look at, and you weren't paying attention to the signs coming up to this. This is my cat. Stella is joining us for a reading now. Her job is to purr and raise the vibration. She takes it very seriously. Do you have happy feet? Okay. She was asleep in the other room. I thought I might get by without her help for this reading, but apparently not. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you're doing a good job. You're purring away. All right, so there was some sort of heartbreaking decision being made here because of this reality check. So something has happened here. And so this card represents, it speaks for itself also. It doesn't look like a pleasant situation. We've got, a heart with 3 swords in it. But when you look closer, you realize, hey, the heart's really big for the size of the swords. So these are more like pinpricks or nails. So maybe someone could recover from this. And that's the energy. Is this actually, a cliff with a cloud? What is this? Or is this a human being with a heart? And that's the throat there. So this card quite often represents, as I said, because the swords represent thoughts and your mind and your mental intelligence, that kind of energy. And so this is talking about, thoughts, words, that kind of energy. So it can be speaking of harsh words that were said. It can or words you don't want to hear. It can also be about not feeling like able to speak up and not being afraid to say what's on your mind. It can also mean like that, in the matters of romance, there's 2 swords here and there's one that's been driven in between. So it can be a third party situation that has been heartbreaking. It just depends on your situation. We will take a look at this and see. we have the Magician coming in. So the Magician, when the Fool begins their journey in the Major Arcana, they're at the 0 point, and the very first card they come across is the Magician. And so the Magician has all the tools they need. He's got his tools on his bench here, and he's pointing to the sky, to the heavens, and he's also pointing to the earth and saying, as above, so below, as below, so above. We have the energy of the infinity symbol here. So this is talking about infinite potential. The tools are on the bench, as I said, and there's a garden growing at his feet. So this is saying you have the tools that you need to create magic in your life. He is wearing an Ouroboros around his waist, and that's a snake that's biting its tail. And so that can be talking about getting into kind of a loop of energy or of thinking that you can't get out of. Also, we are in the year of the snake right now, and we are leaving the year of the snake. This will be posted on the 7th. So in 10 days, we're leaving the year of the snake in the Chinese zodiac. So it'll be Chinese New Year on February 17th. And on that day, we will enter the energy of the year of the fiery horse energy, which is quite a difference from the snake energy. And what do snakes do? They shed their skin. So this is saying it would be a good time to release anything that is stopping you from being able to heal from the situation or to get the truth. I feel like if you have the truth, maybe you've been praying to God to please give you the truth so that you would have some understanding of what's happened and how to deal with this. And so this is an energetic upgrade. The truth is coming in. The reality check hit. Reality checks can be quite painful and quite sudden, and they always happen at the least time, like you just aren't expecting it. And so that's the energy that we have there. We have, I should just mention also on that, because this might affect your energy, is we did have a full moon on the 1st of February. And that full moon was in the sign of Leo. So the Leo energy is about leadership and, being a really good leader. Having said that, the energy that full moon was embracing basically across the wheel from you in the tarot or in the horoscope from the Leo position is the Aquarius position. And so Leo, at that time, the energy was very much, and that was just like, the 7th? So a week ago, the energy was very much, I want to shine as an individual. I need to look after my own needs. I want to express myself as an individual. And the Aquarius energy, the sun was in Aquarius, shining light on the moon and saying, no, you have to look after the group energy. You have to look after the world. You have to look after your responsibilities. And there was a lot of back and forth kind of energy at that full moon because of it, regarding your own needs being met as well as other people's. And so Leo was really feeling this energy. And the Aquarian, the new moon, or on the day of the Chinese New Year on the 17th, there's a new moon coming in. And that new moon is in the sign of Aquarius, or of Aquarius now. And so the same energy is now but it's opposite. And so you're going to be feeling that energy again very intensely with this new moon. And so this, and we have the fiery horse, plus, believe it or not, there's a solar eclipse, and you are ruled by the sun. And so Leo is really feeling this energy right now. It's probably, out of all the signs, you're the one who's feeling the energy of the new year coming in, of the fiery horse. Maybe Sagittarius too, because it's such all the fire signs are feeling it, because it's similar energy to the fire energy that fire signs already have. And so this is and this King of Wands keeps coming into the readings lately, and I feel like the King of Wands, his element is fire, and this is about passion, and the King of Wands is like that, really sexy and charismatic, and he's the kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. That kind of guy. You could forgive him for anything because he's just charming and really a visionary and really interesting to talk to. He has a lot of leadership qualities. This is very much Leo energy. In the back here, we have the salamanders with their tail, which is also representing that Ouroboros energy. That's more, usually it's either a dragon or a snake, but salamander will say close enough. But this is representing protection from fire. And something I noticed like during that full moon energy back a week and a half, like, because as I said, this card's been coming in a lot, is I noticed like the salamander with its tail like that in a circle, and the lion energy represent protection from fire. And so then I noticed that, look, it almost looks like there's two eyes here and a nose with sort of smoke coming out of it, and someone smoking something here. So, this is the element of fire. So when there's smoke, there's fire. That's the kind of energy we're getting from the King of Wands. He's a visionary, ready to get up at a moment's notice. That's the energy. And so this could be your energy here, but for some reason, there's some heartbreaking decision that needs to be made regarding this reality check. The truth has come in. And when I first put this down, I said the truth came in, not is coming in. And that's the energy that I got. But this could be past, present, or future. So take it, how it reads for you, and use your intuition. This is talking about wanting to move to calmer waters with God. This is talking about being very tired of being in this choppy water and saying, like, I need to move on and move to calmer shores. Water in the tarot represents emotions. And so it's talking about this person here with the small child quite often represents the energy of needing to heal from something, like the inner child energy, from also your shadow side, that kind of energy, like really needing to go deep, dig deep. And that's what this pole represents, because you have to, for this boat to get started, we have to push off. And it's kind of like taking all your thoughts and, okay, I'll take them with me, but I'm going to go to calmer waters with God so I can sort out what's been happening. And then the truth comes out. But of course, sometimes when the truth comes out, quite often when the truth comes out, there is a reality check. So what's the reality check about? You're still hanging out with God here at this point. This is like hanging from the tree of knowledge and wanting to have balance. So this person's is hanging upside down because they want to see things from a different perspective. And so this is the energy. And perhaps now you've gone off and you've calmed your mind, because that represents calming your mind to get into calmer waters. And you've dug deep, and now you have some enlightenment. Your aura is shining here, and you have a good idea. Okay, now I know the action that I need to take. And let's see. Yes, a passion for new discovery. So this is representing taking action. So now, before, I feel like you were afraid to even talk about it. You were afraid to do anything about it. You were just not able to bring yourself to do it. But now you have a passion for new discovery here as another gift from the universe. So this is two aces being handed you. One is the truth, and the other one now is the passion for discovering what the truth is about and how are you going to deal with it now. So it basically, I feel like it's almost giving you a license to be able to speak now and to be able to do what you need to do rather than worrying about a bunch of other people. That's the energy I'm picking up. So the reality check did not just, this is about your internal forces. So this is within you. You had like a major revelation come to you. Now, it doesn't mean that people on the external forces didn't already know about it. That's kind of energy. So because this is you reacting to whatever is going on. The internal forces are the what ifs. That's when you're laying in bed and you can't sleep and you're like, oh, what if I do this and then they do that? Or what if I do that and then they do this? What if, what if, what if? The woulda, shoulda, couldas. And that can keep you in this, constant thinking, but not getting anywhere. That's the energy. Being on yes. And okay, so what's coming up here? For the external forces, it's you were in the energy of, okay, it's either this way or it's their way. I feel it's my way or it's their way. And they also could have been in that energy where it's our way, not your way kind of energy. You see the difference between like the individual need and then whatever group or whatever this is, whatever this represents. And so this energy is talking about, it's been exhausting for you because your feet are turned out in this energy, or this is actually forming the external forces. So, but it's also your reaction to the external forces. I feel that this is representing how the external forces feel and how you also felt maybe. And now that you have the information that they have, they're feeling what you were feeling before because they didn't want you to know. That's the energy. So this is talking about two choices, my way or the highway kind of energy. There's only two ways out of this situation. I'm not being able to see any other. There's one option, their way or your way. That's the energy I'm getting. But there's this new moon here, and the blindfold represents sometimes going inward and really looking at the situation from an intuitive standpoint, which of course going off to calmer waters with God, of course you're going to have that energy. So this can represent a closed mind about the situation and not seeing any creative solutions to it. It's about being caught in this constant overthinking, basically. All right, so this is how you are identifying with your self-image right now. So you're feeling like you have to, you have to make a decision, but it's really challenging and you don't even want to talk about it. You might be afraid to talk about it. There's abundance and self-worth here. Okay, so this is saying you do recognize that you are worthy of better than this and that you do have some tools, but it's kind of an energy of not knowing how to how to handle this situation. And then there's communication from early life. This could be I'm getting this kind of energy like in the past, if you were ever wrong, like if you didn't get A's on your report cards kind of energy, and you got B's even, you were like, what? You only got a B, you needed to get an A kind of energy. And then we have this home and family emotional foundation. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of inner child healing that you need to do. So these swords could represent feeling really alone, basically, is the energy I'm picking up. Like no one caring about what you thought about what was going on, nobody explaining to you what was going on. And you just had to like quickly adapt no matter what was going on. You had to just, okay, well, I'll keep my mouth shut and I'll just do what they tell me to do. But you were afraid because it was kind of an energy. And sometimes I feel like this can be like an energy of your parents being divorced and you feeling like maybe you did something wrong that caused this because it was never explained to you. There's some weirdness around it anyway. So we have the creativity, romance, and children. Maybe one of your parents was having an affair, and the other one told, and they told you not to tell your other parent or something, or they had some other secret. Don't tell your mother. Don't tell your father. And I mean, if you do that to a little kid, that's devastating. And so we have an energy here of creativity and romance and seeing things from different perspectives. You may also have children because that's what this represents. And maybe your concern for your children has kept you from opening your mouth for some reason. And then we have health and daily routines and habits. So this is changing. I feel like something's happened where maybe you've been feeling like you had to stay isolated. not talk to people, not be able to, that kind of energy. That energy is now changing. You're going to have a passion for new discovery, for being able to talk about what the truth of this is, and that people will actually listen. That's the energy I'm getting. And it's been a battle in your mind and also with others is what's coming up, because this is external forces causing you to be in a situation where, a no-win situation, and they would do anything to win. That's the energy I'm getting from this card. And you having to fight them off and you didn't even know what it was about, kind of energy. Sometimes this energy does represent the subconscious mind, unconscious mind, and the conscious mind. So the subconscious mind is what happened to you when you were a young child. We don't remember that from, baby till about 5, 6, 7 years old is when we start having memories of our childhood. And this is talking about the people that were in charge of your care would tell you, oh, this is how you were, this is how, and that's your subconscious mind. And although it's really not our thoughts, it's the thoughts of the people that were put in charge of our care telling us who we were. And so this energy is like, you might not even remember most of your childhood, and what you do remember is like maybe traumatized you, that kind of energy. So the subconscious mind is heavily imprinted on us, yet we can't really rely on it as the truth. And that's the problem, because when we get upset, we tend to go listen to our subconscious mind, which doesn't have all the facts, kind of energy, You can't see the points on this sword. What's the point? What's the point here? That's what we want to know. And so the subconscious mind and then the unconscious mind, a lot of people will say, I'm a human being with a soul, but you're actually a soul that's traveling in a human body. Your soul has needs, just like your physical body does, and they're just as necessary. And so if you're not looking after the needs of your soul, you're going to run into problems in your life. We have the conscious mind. That's what you're aware of. You've got a handle on that. You understand what's going on in that part. But when you can get the conscious mind, subconscious, and unconscious mind to come together, then you can get the real truth here. And then plug into your heart, you can go for your authentic desires. So sometimes this card, especially when it comes out with this card, it talks about like trauma and everything else, but that is the trauma that brings your minds together. And then you plug them into your heart, and that's when you get the truth of the matter. So that's kind of interesting. That card came up. And then we have this energy. Doesn't matter how much I shuffle the cards, these are the same cards coming out over like throughout the last 2-3 weeks. There's about half of the cards in the deck that are like, I haven't seen the other half hardly at all in the last couple weeks in particular. There's a lot of energy right now as I'm doing this reading. I mean, we had the Epstein files out now for about a week, and it's been relentless, and it's been very challenging, and like, it's just vile energy all the way around. And it's also very upsetting because for a lot of people, because it's like, what the heck is like, what is going on in this world? Like, how is it possible that these people have been getting away with doing these things for this long, and nobody has, nothing's happened to them? And even now they're saying, oh, just, okay, we've looked at it for a week now, let's move on. And it's like, move on. Like, look at what all these people, where's the justice? Why are these people not in jail? If this was a regular everyday person, they would be in jail. Why are these people still out here and still talking, like still acting like they're, like, oh, this is just normal? How did they get to the point where their very messed up behavior was so normal to them that now they just, oh, well, it's just normal, get over it? It's not normal. It's not normal at all. And so this is the energy of having to stand your ground, like to stand for what you know, and you know what you're willing to put up with and what you're not. And so you going quiet could also be part of the problem for them, because they want you to tell them something and you refuse to. And so it could be that kind of energy. We have one foot with a boot on and one foot with a shoe on. So this is saying there's two different worlds, basically, that you're straddling at this time. And these are the actions of others and yours, possibly, and sometimes the inactions. And this is you protecting. And so this is, you know what you know, conviction beyond a doubt. And they also know what they know. And they are going to make, like they want it's like in this energy, it's either this way or that way. And there's no in between. So we have reconciliation coming up. Reconciliation, this card is a card of quite a few illusions, actually. To have reconciliation, you do have to have forgiveness first. So if you can forgive someone, you don't even have to tell them you forgive them. You're doing the forgiving for yourself so that you can, start to heal your heart. They don't have to know about it. You just have to do it for yourself. And then that puts the burden on them rather than on you to, instead of you fighting to deal with something you don't know, they're having to deal with what they do know, if you understand what I'm saying. And so that's the first step towards reconciliation. But just because you forgive someone does not mean that you want to still have anything to do with them. If you do decide to reconcile, then this card is talking about people from your past coming in and wanting to engage with you again. And so be very careful with that energy, because people quite often will show you exactly who they are the first time. And so especially if you're in this position because of people around you, why would you want to entertain them some more? But this art card can also talk about reconciliation with your inner child, like we were talking about here. So reconciling something that happened in your childhood so that you can heal and move forward again. So this energy could go is talking about it feels like it's basically up to you. Which way are you going to go with this? There is 6 cups here. And these 6, like why I say this card is an illusion, these 6 cups are full of these white flowers. And they're very pretty. And the children look like they're playing with them. But then the children aren't actually children. This is a dwarf. And then this is a little woman. And if you look at her one way, she looks like a real old woman. And if you look at her the other way, she looks like a young woman. The white flowers represent innocence, but this plant is from the nightshade family, and it's datra. It's highly poisonous. It's got beautiful white flowers, but it's you wouldn't let children play with it. Then you recognize that the person in the background that's watching over them isn't actually watching over them. They're walking away because they're not children after all. And she's wearing a white mitt. And the white mitt represents she doesn't want to get her hands dirty. So what is this really about? And that's the energy why you have to be careful about going to the past, making sure there's not illusions that are going to get you caught back up in the same old shift that you were doing your best to leave. I'm just going to move this down a bit to make sure you can see the top cards here. And then we have, because you don't want to end up getting back in this energy of being in a nightmare. This is like that card of a never-ending nightmare. Something that you're waking up in the morning, and this is like, but this is in your external forces. So it's not like you asking, what if I did this or what if I did that? This is saying what the EF happened. External forces happened. You were going along and all of a sudden you're in this stressed out energy and you don't necessarily even know what the whole story about what it's about. And so this is about wanting to end a never-ending nightmare. And at times it can also be talking about just totally bored. Like, I'm just so bored. I want to get out of this life that I'm in. I don't want, but I feel like this is less boredom than that. At other times, this card can also represent both, and it can also represent a third option as well as the other two, which is waking up in the wee hours of the night. Usually between 2 and 4 a.m. is when we wake up and we're like, whoa. You wake up from a dream and it was so real that you could swear you were actually doing what was in the dream, talking to the people that was in it. And it's like a divine enlightenment coming from the universe and from God. So this is talking about this energy here, like where all of a sudden I know I'm enlightened, I know what's going on. And so to empower you to move out of this energy. So let's see now what else is happening. We have conception. I feel like this is happening now. There's 8 wands here and they're already in motion. And so this is the card of conception. Sometimes it can actually mean conception of a child. The Knight of Wands does have a roving eye, so there could be something around that for some of you. And maybe, you know, you found out you have another sibling or something somewhere. That happens a lot with DNA now. But this is, something's been launched and, you know, it's on its way. Like the enlightenment or whatever you need from this truth to be able to move forward in your life, basically. And then we have, yes, because now you're on a new journey. Wow, that's really awesome. So this is getting, this is saying this cycle's ending and that you've already, it's been launched. Your new cycle is launched now. Cool. Like you, woo, like I can see you shooting out of a cannonball. You know, that kind of energy. So get me out of here. That's the kind of energy. So let's see. We'll clarify it. For those of you who want clarification, if you are enjoying this reading, please give it a like and comment. It really empowers me to build my channel. I super appreciate it. The oracle I'm using is Tales from the Vector. And I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com. That's TAILS. And so I started this in 2007. In 2020, I completed it. And now I've had it out at psychic fairs for a few years, but it was never done in its entirety. I've had it at my seminars when I taught seminars in the past. And, but it was, as I said, it wasn't complete. And so now I have it mostly written up, but I need to work with the cards to be able to write the book up so I can have a, you know, the book that goes along with the cards, so that it's clear and it's proper. In the description box below, I will put the numbers of these cards in the order they appear here. If you want to go to my website, oh, here, this is what wants to come out here, and all of these cards. And then these next. Okay, all right, I've got directions. All right, these are my directions. Start here and work your way to these ones. Okay. We have, the truth is you're a superstar. And look it's about the throat chakra, having harmony, being able to speak your truth. This is sing to your heart's content. You know how they say sing for your supper, or someone sings when the truth comes out kind of energy. You know, if they're talking about crimes or whatever, oh, he's saying, you know, that kind of energy. Don't worry about that. It's going to be harmony. And look it has the number 26 on it. So I feel 2026 is going to be a much better year for you than 2025 was. And 2026 and 2025, actually, 2025, 2 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. So it was actually the end of a 9-year cycle. And look at that, like we have 9 swords here, right? At this ending here, and the year 2026, 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10, and that breaks down to a 1, and so it's a year of a new beginning of a cycle of a decade. So when we left 2025 and moved into 2026, almost about a month ago now, a little over a month ago, we weren't just leaving one year and moving into the other, and it felt different. It felt like there was a lot of energy around it. That's because we were leaving a 10-year cycle and moving into a new 10-year, decade-long cycle. So a lot of people really felt like, oh wow, we're really noticing that this New Year's here. So this doesn't surprise me that the devil there might have been temptation of something. Somebody did something here. That's, you know, caused this reality check. So whenever that card comes in, what I like to do is get the next card up from to cover the devil, because the devil's not going to, you're not going to get the truth from the devil. The devil is very manipulative. So we're going to find out, you know, what minion did the devil send in, or what was it about, and does God step in? So it is degradation. So it was intended to degrade your energy. And we're mostly made up of water. It's talking, stars are also made up of water. You're supposed to be a star, but they were trying to pull you down, which is typical of the devil energy. So let's see, we've got pride coming in. You know, the glyph for the Leo energy is a lion. And this energy, lions have prides. And I do feel that, you know, besides being maybe proud of your family, you also were concerned about members of your family, whatever this situation is. It was involving more than just you as the energy. And we have then perception. So, okay, so it could be someone was stepping outside of the relationship. That's quite common with this card, as I said. This is talking about, you know, they thought the grass was greener on the other side. This could be you or your partner. And that would be giving into temptation, basically that energy. And so then, you know, you step out and then you realize, oh, the grass was greener because it was fake, that kind of energy. And that, you know, you could just have grown real grass at your place if you just put a little more effort into it. We have judgment here. And of course, like this is in the communication of your early life. And that's the energy I'm really picking up in. It's on both these cards, kind of like, this is saying that you need to open your heart up and be unfettered. Whatever happened in your childhood, it's kind of like God understands how you're, like, how badly you were hurt. That's why you've been given many opportunities, if you were in this energy, to work it out, kind of. And it's also talking about the energy of whoever was cheating or whatever, you know, same thing. Like, why would they do that kind of energy? Why do people do what they do? God is the only one who really knows people, like everything, you know. But there seems to be some jealousy was involved. And it could have been like when you were a child, maybe you really shone because you were the star and the other siblings were jealous of you. And so maybe you always felt like a little bit like the odd person out. A lot of time when the star energy comes in, people will say, oh, I always felt like I was the, you know, the black sheep, or I always felt like I didn't belong to this family. I always wondered if I was adopted, that kind of energy. And I mean, it could be in this case that you were, could be something to do with that, but it also could just be because you weren't meant to fit in. You're meant to stick out like a sore thumb so that you can shine, you know. And the thing about the Leo energy is you're a born leader, but it takes a while to mature into that, and you have to have the life experience. So we have the Capricorn energy coming in, and I just want to say, when the signs come in, I'm not talking, oh, a Capricorn did it, that kind of energy. This could be true, that this might represent someone or the energy, and they are a Capricorn for you. But that's not my intention. My intention is that we have a little bit of each sign in each of us. And so whatever we can learn from this Capricorn energy, that we can learn from it. And I feel like it's relating to this card here, because this is all about responsibility. And, you know, when people are shackled to the devil, they're also shackled to Saturn's box, which is about deep responsibility for, like, you know, for you have to face the consequences of your actions kind of energy. And also the Capricorn is also ruled by Saturn. So the most ambitious of all the signs, and probably the most concerned with public image. And that's right where this is. It's about the reputation and public image. And this is talking about the mountain goat. And the mountain goat has, the glyph has a tail of a dolphin on the end. So imagine trying to climb a mountain with the front end of a goat. Yeah, that's great. But what about the hind end? It's a fish tail. Makes it a little more complicated. And so this is talking about taking consistent steps of action towards your goals. And that's, so that's the energy there. And then we have the Empress energy. So the Empress is talking about all of the queens are rolled into one person, basically, from the minor arcana. And so this is saying the Empress is highly, like, generates energy, someone who is really able to attract energy. And this is sitting in your habits. So I feel like you, whether you're a male or a female, you can be in this Empress energy and really good at manifesting, you know. And so if all of a sudden you can't, there's a real problem here, and you need to you're like, I need to get to the bottom. What the heck is going on here? And then we have the need to be right, which is another karmic space. Sometimes we'll hang on to like, hey, I'm right and you're wrong. That's this energy right here. Actually, this should be on here. So this is talking about the external forces, that energy again. You'd rather be right than be happy kind of energy, or they would rather be right than happy. They would, even if they know they're wrong, they're not going to admit they're wrong, because they would have to say I was wrong, and they can't say wrong. They just can't do it. So then instead, they'd rather be unhappy than and make everybody else unhappy around them. And I was watching a little documentary about this with Carl Jung, and it was talking about like that being when a person has a certain mindset, and they just get to the point where they really don't want to look at things, that it ends in this in this energy of where they'll even start looking at the facts, and well, the facts can't be right then, and everybody else is saying, no, these are the facts, like this, and there's proof here, this is how it went down. And they'll still deny, no, I must be right, the facts must be wrong. So we have the Wheel of Fortune here. So yes, Stella, I know. She's hungry for her supper. You just give me like 5 more minutes. Be a good girl. And so the Wheel of Fortune is kicking in, so destiny is turning. Means your luck is changing for the better. And this is regarding your partnerships and your marriage and commitment. We have destruction here. So yeah, that's sitting in the position of transition. So it's kind of like that energy kind of was meant to destroy what you had, but it didn't work because you didn't give into it. Someone else did, though. Mother's worry. This card has been coming up a lot. There might be a mother that's worried, or you might be a mother that's worried, or your mother might be worried about you. But this also card has been coming up a lot, and I feel it's because a lot of people call the earth Mother Earth, and a lot of people right now are going, we're worried about what's going on Earth right now. It's nuts out there kind of energy. And then we have the Chariot here. And so the Chariot is means you're on your destined path. In my oracle, it's a ball representing the yin yang symbol, and it's talking about the balance between your masculine and your feminine energies, and it's already spinning, so it's ready to come in. What that means is you're able to use your intuition and your logic, and you're getting the answers. So really, we didn't have any communication coming in, and I'm just realizing this. So you're getting the truth through from God through your own intuition. So really pay attention to it. Okay, and there you are representing yourself right there. It's talking about it's already been launched. You're coming back into your own, and that's this cycle that was holding you hostage here. That's the energy I get, like kind of like you felt like you were being held hostage, is changing now. It's changed, actually. You may not notice it right away, but the truth, and once you face the truth and whatever has happened has come out, like once you get it in your head, then it will lead you to ways to find out, to prove it to yourself and to others kind of energy. So this is, whenever you represent yourself in a reading, it's always a good thing. Plus it's confirming that the Chariot is already been launched. Like this is already happening right now as we speak. And then we have the energy we have the Lovers here. So perhaps you have someone wanting to come in, or it was your lover that, the devil, the typical devil card is talking about, two lovers chained together and then yoked together and then chained to Saturn's box. So again, it's bringing up some sort of energy of an infidelity within your relationship. So I do feel, Leo, you're on your way to getting to the truth that you need. You're already healing from it. And just keep, really listen to your intuition right now. And especially, as you're moving into to the new moon here, I feel like, and because that eclipse, is the first eclipse of the year. And it's you know, it's a solar eclipse. So it's really going to affect you again. Like if anyone's feeling this energy right now, whoa, Leo, you're feeling it. Like the astrological influences are just like really, so be aware of that. Avoid impulsive behaviors. You do not want to be impulsive right now. You do not want to use your words unwisely right now. I feel like the whole year of the horse, people don't want to be doing that. But in particular right now, while you're kind of still in this energy of wanting the truth and feeling pissed off probably because as you learn the truth, you start getting like angry, you know, that kind of energy. And it's a justified anger. Having said that, you don't want to sit in that. You want to be able to let it go, because anger is just going to, if you hold on to anger, it just weakens you in many ways. I feel this has been a very informative reading, and I feel like a lot of this energy is how a lot of people are feeling around the world. But I feel like because of the astrological influences, and there's so many of them, excuse me, right now, that it's really affecting you even a little bit more than the average person. I think Aquarius is also feeling this energy, but not to the extent that you are. So, you know, hang in there. It's going to dissipate, I feel like, after the new year, as long as you're taking action to continue to move forward and resolve whatever this is. I feel like you will notice a change and you will get some relief here. Please do like and comment if you've enjoyed this reading. Consider subscribing to the channel if you resonate. It would be my honor if you did so. I will be back. I'm actually going to do some readings after this regarding this new moon coming in and you know, the energy of that coming up. That will be on the same playlist as a new moon, full moon. And then you might want to check that out to take a look at the energy from the last full moon we had, because that was in Leo. And there's also another playlist which has the fiery horse energy and what it means for each sign. I feel like that might really have some beneficial information for you also, Leo. All right, bye for now.